In Jamaica, we say the race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure. What does that mean to you? Well, today we learn what that means to Dane Clarke, a friend, a son, a face, a story. Hi, Dane. Welcome to Faces of Scotia.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, who is Dane Clarke?
Dane is one of the senior managers in the business support unit at Scotiabank. At our core, I would say business support as a unit. I generally have a saying that says, if you don't know what to do with it, you just go and ask business support, and that has been the reality. But at our core, we focus on business continuity management for the entire Scotia group.
So I want to find out, what did it take for you to become who you are today? Please take us back as far as you can remember.
Well, Delia, it was a lot of motivation, a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance. I did not, in growing up, I did not know my mom until I was about 12, right? And there was a point I almost died at 9 months.
What?
Right, yes. So I had come to live with my dad when I was 9 months because, my mom was a teenage mother, and she had decided that she didn't want to bear this burden by herself. So she had taken me to live with my dad. But my dad had just had a 1-year-old baby at the time, and he was not about having another child. So not sure what happened, but she put me out on the hot concrete. I'm told it was about 1 in the afternoon, and she just walked away. So I was told I could creep at the time, so I was creeping out into the road, and we lived at the corner, and a car was coming around. So because the concrete was hot, I was crying, creeping and crying, and my stepmom now, who I call mommy, love her to bits, she heard the cry, and I thought it was her child, and then came out and realized and snatched me up right before the car came around.
Oh.
So, Dane could have not been here,
Yeah.
but I have gotten a lot of help on the way. A lot of things have happened that has really motivated me to, despite the odds, despite everything, to just really continue to persevere. Beyond that, growing up, poverty was a stickler in my life for a significant period. Growing up in high school, my dad lost his job when I had passed for Arden High. So I was on path my entire time at Arden. Many of my friends wouldn't have known this, but there are many, many days when I didn't have food. There are days when, I had to walk when I was going to UA, I had to walk from UA to 3 miles to get home because, you just didn't have bus fare. And then, when I started to work, I worked part-time, went to school full-time, and, I was getting like $35,000 a month, and religiously, $20,000 went to pay off tuition. So I had to really buy the $15,000 every month. I had to go to books, transportation, food, all of those things. There was one day when I got home from work at around after 9, and where I was living at the time, it was built on top of a pit. But I didn't know that at the time. And, whenever the pit is full, the roaches come out daily. And one day I, tired, full day of school, working. I think I was around 20 at the time. And I came home at around minutes to 10. And daily, as I opened the door, roaches all over the walls. And daily, I just had to run up the road with the little money I have, buy a can of bacon at the time, and when I finished spraying, the dead roaches could fill half a trash can. And I remember I sat and I cried my eyes out for about half an hour on the step. And I said to myself, this can't be my life. And when I look back on those things, I remember days when, I was so hungry because, mommy and daddy don't have it. Nobody's working. I'm on pass so that, pa just pays for school. And then I remember I called up, I remember lying on the ground in the fetal position because I was that hungry. And I called a church brother, and he came, picked me up, took me to the store, and, I just remember all those things, and the help that I got to get me to where I am, it has been tremendous. I know that's one of the reasons I do my very best to help where I can at any point that I can.
Yeah. It's such a story of determination, though, Dane, because many people would have said, "Ah, if I have to go to school and I have to walk, if I have to go to school, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to go." What kept you going?
Delia, let me tell you, sir, when I was at UA, bun and cheese was my best friend. Like day in, day out, 5 days a week, bun and cheese. I have a very strong sense of self, right? So those little things that of, just looking at people around me, understanding what they had to, I'm a big life learner, right? And I try to learn from other people's experiences. And I refuse to live a life of default, right? No matter what is happening, living by default is just not a part of my makeup, despite everything that is happening. So I focus on my goals, whatever it is I say I want, and I try to make them smart, right? Focus on what I want to achieve. What does it really take to get there? Sometimes we have these very lofty goals, and you want to do this, that you want to be a rock star, and that's great, right? I try not to kind of diminish my goals based on my current circumstance, but just try to focus on what exactly in increments you want to achieve. And I think those are the things that I sometimes tell myself that I don't know when my number going to call, right? And I hate to be morbid, but I don't know when my number going to call, so I really do try to live one step closer to being my very best self,
Wow.
right? Because I tell you, today you're here, you're gone to where you hear so many stories. So you just have to, every opportunity you get, just be one step closer to your best self.
Yeah. It sounds to me like your past has shaped the attitude that you have, which is why you're so successful, Dane. Is that so?
I would say so. But I would also say that success clearly looks differently to to everybody, right? So for me, those incremental steps of, okay, last year you didn't have $1 million in savings, but at the end of this year, do you have 250? How are you going to kind of make those small steps to get to where you want to go and honor the help that you have gotten? Because as I say, there are times when I don't have bus fare, and I used to go to church very often, right? So I would go to a sister's church home on Sundays to get Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
So I have gotten a lot of help. So I honor the help that I have gotten, and as such, I do my very best to wherever I can help somebody along the path.
Yeah, that's determination, because a lot of people would say, listen, I don't have the bus fare. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm just not getting up out of my house. You got up and went to where you thought the help would be.
Exactly.
That's a lot of determination. Where do you get that from, Dane?
I don't know. I think I'm a little stubborn sometimes, and the stubbornness can be a good thing, because when you apply it to your goals, you really find that, again, you don't look at the current circumstance, you look at the end goal. I use my circumstances growing up as the example. I know that despite the fact that this is the here and now, this is not where I want to be. This is the process. This is the process I have to go through to get, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but this is just a part of the steps, and I tell people all the time, trust the process. It looks dirty, it's messy, but at the end of the day, all of those incremental steps, all of those pains and heartaches are trying to teach you something. And until you learn the lesson, it won't go away.
What is the inspiration that allows Dane to always see the rainbow and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
Delia, I just think it's a part of my makeup. I can't even say I credit it to, what my parents have gone through. While again, I'll take a look at what they have gone through, and I tried my very best to say, okay, I see that, I don't want to be that, right? So I take a look at that, and I take the good that I see in other people as well, and I say, because I know I couldn't be here without the help of others, I say to myself, okay, when I get up today, again, given the context of today you're here, you're gone tomorrow, I need to, at least an iota of value, I need to add to somebody else, because of how people have helped me to lift me up. I am standing on the shoulders of many other people.
Oh, well, what do you say to someone whose dreams are really being challenged by the reality of their lives?
I would say, just like I am trying to do, trust the process. Don't take the short route, right? I say a lot of times I believe in smart hard work, right? So if it is that, things may seem hard now, don't try to, jump out the window to something that seems easier. You have to keep your eye on whatever that price is. So whatever your goal is, do not be constrained by the here and now. The here and now is just a part of what you have to go through to get to whatever that pot of gold is that you have.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about what kept you going throughout the years, Dane. What keeps you going today?
Ah, that's a hard one for some reason. Um, I What motivates me now is right now I had a very significant experience in my life where my sister was killed by her husband, right? So it was a murder suicide,
Wow.
right? It was all over the news.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And my life changed significantly overnight. So I was, climbing this corporate ladder, living my best life. And now I have a teenager to raise, right? She has come with her ex because she was significantly traumatized, right? And now the killing happened in her presence. Her father killed her mom in her presence and killed himself. And she came, Delia, she came with, or has come with a lot of challenges. I have to, so I am motivated by her because I tell myself that maybe that's what all of that was preparing me for, to help this child to overcome all this trauma and know that beyond all of that, you can still come out to something good. You can still achieve your goals, right? So when I think about her experience and what she has to do, right? And she's very strong. I give her a lot of praise to her. I have to be stronger for her so that she can see that, hey, there is something worth living for.
Wow, I'm so glad she has you as a role model.
I hear that frequently.
Yes, 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 I am. I think you're a great inspiration for her. How do you feel, Dane, that working at Scotiabank has helped you to realize a lot of your passion and helped you to be where you are today?
I think that one of the things I love about Scotiabank is that there's a place for everyone, right? So no matter your demographic, no matter how society tries to segment you, the bank has been very steady and steadfast in its people agenda. So no matter, again, your background, there you will feel as if, there is a space has been carved out for you at the bank. And I have been lucky enough to have leaders who have poured into me, even at Scotiabank. People who are not threatened by young talent, people who, really build you up. Scotiabank is very, very different. And for that, it causes me to bring my passion to my work every day. And it makes me even more proud to wear the flying S on my chest.
What's your vision for your role at Scotiabank?
My ultimate objective is to be in a position to add so much value that it is kind of undeniable.
Yeah. I love it. Boy, Dane, it's been such a journey for you. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank for helping you to be where you are today?
I can think of two persons. First person is my current manager, Trisha Davies. I swear to you, Trisha is a manager of a different breed. She's a different species. I love her management style. She pours into me daily. She knows what my goals are, and she creates opportunities for me to grow. And that is significant because I must say I have never gotten that type of leadership direction before. Right? So big kudos and thanks to Trisha. My other person that has really forever been in my corner is my sister. She always, I would dare say she's my biggest cheerleader, right? So always pushing me. She says I motivate her by just being who I am and achieving the things, seeing me achieve. But beyond that, and I've said to her, she has always, no matter what, always been in my corner. And she doesn't know how beneficial that is to me, for me to continue to move forward. But big kudos to her too for all her support over these many, many years.
Excellent. Well, I want to share something with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you for a minute to just look at that screen.
My name is Ingrid Clarke, and Dane Clarke is my brother.
Well, my name is Melford Clarke, and Dane Clarke is my son. From the day he was born to be great. He doesn't play cricket. He doesn't play football. Church, school, and the books. That is all he does. He is intelligent, strong, and manageable. I can tell you that. And I always tell him that from the moment you name Clarke,
Yes.
all will be well with you.
Yes.
I am definitely proud. I wouldn't be where I am without him, because he actually got me the job that I'm in now in the company. So I'm really proud of that. At one time, I didn't have a name in that said company. I was just Dane's sister. So I'm really proud of where he is. I know he got there through hard work and dedication and perseverance, because he's the type of person who likes to achieve great things, and he doesn't stop until he gets to that goal that he wants to get to. So Dane, or Nick,
Yes.
I'm really proud of you. Keep doing great things that you're doing, because you achieving what you're achieving is motivation for me to continue to work hard, because I know that I'll be able to get to where I need to get to through that hard work and the dedication. And thanks for believing in me and looking out for me the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for everything. I pray for you, and I ask the Lord to keep you, to strengthen you, and to guide you, and to cover you in every move that you make, because you are blessed by the love of God.
Wow. How do you feel, Nick?
Yes. Yes.
Listening to your sister and your father.
Oh my God, I didn't know that Daddy surprised me, right? But Daddy always tells us, honor your name, you know. As he rightly said, once your name Clarke, you're blessed, right? So really happy to see that. That was surprising. That was shocking. But yeah, my sister Tasha, Ingrid, has always been my corner. I love her to bits. Daddy, much love, always a big supporter of me. So that really made my heart smile. Thank you so much for that. That was nice.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Dane. It was such an interesting history, journey, and story coming from you. And as we always say, behind the brand are people like you and I. People with stories of determination, of growth, of strength, and like Dane, overcoming. Thank you so much for watching Faces of Scotia.